The Dad Rock tier list. Now, I know you guys have been anticipating this for a while. You've been hyping it up. I'm finally doing a Dad Rock tier list. The ultimate and only Dad Rock tier list you need to watch. Now, the whole premise of this video is to discuss not only Dad Rock, but Butt Rock. And the whole idea and concept of Dad Rock and Butt Rock is if your dad listens to this type of music, it's considered dad rock. If someone over 40 or 50 listens to the band you like, it's considered dad rock, and that's cringe. You really need to open your third eye to better music and go through a reality check. But with that out of the way, let's discuss the bands I have. Now, I have a different wide arrangement of all sorts of bands. I'm trying to make it mixed and very all over the place. This really covers most of the dad rock history from 1970 to current day. I sprinkled in all sorts of bands. And the first band we're going to talk about is Creed. Now, Creed are one of the most well-known dad rock bands out there. They're a household name, one would consider, except they no longer are. I mean, they ended, 20 years ago? They were a household name. Now they're just 6 feet under when it comes to their name. They have no reputation left because they ended it. And there's another band, which I'll talk about in a minute, that is the sequel to Creed in some ways. But I think I'd put them in C tier. And why isn't there an F tier? That I demand that. There needs to be an F tier. My bad, guys. There's too many bands here to not include an F tier. But I digress. Creed, C for Creed, it's just, their singer, I think his name's Scott or something, he's alright, he has those nice, basic, stereotypical grunge / post-grunge vocals. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah! That's what it sounds like. And it's just so cringe. Metallica did it before you guys, and you're just copycatting them. So many bands sound like this. That was the embodiment of the 90s. Every band sounded like that. Unless it was nu metal, which they have their own niche as well as stereotypes too and tropes. But I never liked this trope. It's a pet peeve of mine, and it should be buried in the 90s. Now, this is the band that came after Creed. Those who were the remnants of Creed who wanted to keep pursuing music made Alter Bridge, and I do not like it. It is worse than Creed. Creed at least had some memorable songs, and enjoyable ones at that. Alter Bridge is just boring dad rock. They try to go an aggressive route, but it just sounds lame, boring, and very not inspired. Very uninspired music, so that's where I put them. D for just terrible. Alter Bridge. Ugh. Why'd they alter the sound? That's what I don't get. Now, on a lighter note, let's go to Ghost. Now I'm going to bring some positivity in this video finally. I think they're S tier. Reason being is that they do trick dad rock a little bit and butt rock, but at the same time, most dads don't listen to them, so that's already a good thing. Most of the dads have been wiped out when it comes to this band because they're Satanists, and most dads, are very not open-minded, so they're not going to enjoy Ghost. Now, Ghost, they deserve their own tier list for being Scooby-Doo soundtrack music, but it's still solid. The new album especially was really good. I reviewed it, and you should watch it. You should watch it right now. Well, not right now. When this video is done, you watch it. Link in the description, but still great music. I might put them down a tier just because their first two albums weren't as good, but they still make solid music. Prequel was good. Their last album, like I said, Melirora was good. My gosh, I was about to butcher that, but great music. My only complaint is Tobias can sometimes be a dick, but that's only occasionally. Now, next band. Let's go in order from now on, because I just want to get these guys out of the way. Wait, never mind. Scratch that. Nickelback. B tier. I understand why people hate them, but I'm also a little bit sympathetic for them, because, at the time, in 2002, How You Remind Me was the most played song ever, and I don't blame them for being sad for people hating them. They had a huge fan base back then, but at the same time, everyone hated them because they just overplayed that music. And it's more the radio's fault, not theirs. It wasn't their intent to ruin people's lives with their songs, and a lot of their songs are very anthemic and very positive, except for the new albums that are very misogynistic, and that's the reason why they're lower down. You know, I put them in A because their singer's name is Chad. I mean, that is the most dad butt rock move ever. Your name is Chad. Hailstorm. Now, from now on, we're going to go in order, and I think I'm going to put them B tier. Sure, they sound very basic and very uninspired, but at least they make very aggressive and angry dad rock. It really sounds as if someone's dad is angry when you listen to this. Now, their singer is a female, and she has very great vocals. She gives off very energetic vocals and harmonies. And she's even a guitarist, too, as you can see in the picture. Unless that's a bass, but no singer plays bass. They only play guitar. And she gives off a very good vibe and aesthetic. And yeah, I can't say enough about Hailstorm. Really good music. Hailstorm. Almost said Hailstorm. Hailstorm is a different band. Great band, by the way. But next band is Boston. Now, I think I'm going to put them in A tier. The only reason they're not S is because they only have one really great album, and the rest of them are just very boring and very uninspired. It really just stoops after the next album. It's a downward spiral. Mainly because their first singer, I believe, passed away. And ever since then, they just couldn't recover, but still they're great. The first album is a great one. They're one of the greats of the 70s. They create very happy and basic music, but very good music at that. They make very good pop music that treads dad rock, just because it's from the 70s. And every person that listened to them are probably in their 60s, so. Limp Bizkit. All your 40-year-old parents out there listen to this, and I think they're a B tier. I like how they implement very experimental elements and aspects to their music, like the rap elements and the rock too. They managed to combine and intertwine those elements, which is really cool. And they're very experimental, believe it or not. I think they're the closest band to what nu metal is. They're the embodiment of nu metal. So many other nu metal bands just sound very uninspired, and they don't sound like nu metal or even rap. But they actually incorporate rap in this, and it just sounds so fresh. It sounds refreshing. It sounds so authentic and just new compared to a lot of other bands. Like Korn, I'll do next. They don't sound like nu metal at all. They just sound more like dad rock. They don't really incorporate that many nu metal elements as well as rap, unless you count the bass and the bars, the feel of it. But other than that, I think I'd put Korn above them just because of how influential they are, and the fact when they peaked in the 90s, their music was great and dark and outstanding. Their new music, half the new albums are very bad, but still I'd put them there. Guns N' Roses, their singer is a dick, but I really love Slash. D tier. Especially his posts, by the way. I hate digressing, but Slash's Instagram posts are nightmare fuel, and I love it. Next band, Led Zeppelin. They're C tier. I love their music, but I can't neglect to ignore the fact that half their lyrics are about pedophilia, and they almost endorse it and advocate for it, which I don't like. Bear in mind, most bands in their 70s were very misogynistic when it came to their lyricism, and they're no exception. But I still love their songs. They're very energetic, like Achilles' Last Stand, Baby I'm Gonna Leave You, songs like that, Stairway to Heaven. They still make great songs. And I love John Bonham. I don't like the song Kickstart My Heart, but I do like other songs like Live Wire, Looks That Kill. Very catchy but heavy songs at times. Shout at the Devil, really good. But I'd put them B. They're probably the best at what they do when it comes to hair metal. They're the best band at that. Glam rock, they're the best when it comes to that. The peak. Puddle of Mud, they really live up to their name. F tier. They're probably the only band that'll be an F tier. Never mind, I'm putting Poison there too. Both of those bands have the same problem. They're very misogynistic, and that's a blatant problem that plagues a lot of dad rock, and these guys are no exceptions. I'm gonna rate them both. Puddle of Mud, it's just their cover of About a Girl's horrendous. It really grinds my gears, and it sounds as if someone's gouging my eardrums out, and I don't like it. Same with their music. It sounds very disgusting. I'll put Poison D tier. They make some good songs. These guys don't. AC/DC, C tier. I mean, the thing about AC/DC is it's very boring, formulaic, and just interchangeable. All their songs sound the same, except I like Big Balls a lot. Very funny song. But, I mean, even their singers don't really sound that interested in what they do. They sound bored and they're just lifeless. I don't like the Chipmunks singing, but I do like some of their songs. 3 Days Grace, C tier. Ever since the original singer left, it's been downhill. A lot of their new songs just sound like cash grabs. They're very boring and not inspired, and very stereotypical. These are what people look at when they know rock is dying. This is the embodiment of bands people see just to know rock is dead. And yeah, they don't really help at all and contribute anymore. But I mean, the original singer's new band is still cool, like Saint Antonio or whatever it's called. Great band. These guys are just not as good as they used to be, but still have some good bangers, some good, energetic music. I think that about wraps it up. I think, I'm going to put Boston S tier. I think that's the only change I'd add. I think everything else is pretty cool. Creed B tier. I think that's about it. Creed is not even remotely close to how bad some of these artists are when it comes to the quality of their music. And they have a great guitarist in the band too, so. And Alter Bridge, I may change my opinion about that because I haven't listened to enough of them, but their music's not really that interesting so far. But yeah, that about wraps it up. And I hope you enjoyed the dad energy I bestowed upon you, even though I'm 19. But maybe in 30 years I can come back and make a full definitive list so you can see my ignorance. Till then, hope you have a great, fantastic night, and there's bound to be more to come. Hell yeah.